So let's see for Scorpio, whether you're a Scorpio bride or a Scorpio groom, what your wedding will look like. What's the overall feel, guests, food, dresses, bridal parties, etc. So first of all, let's have a look at the overall look, feel, what's going to happen with your overall wedding planning. So this is the overall feel for Scorpios. You may be the Scorpio bride. You may have a Scorpio groom. You also may have an ascending Scorpio. Whatever the case, let's have a look for Scorpio weddings. Congratulations as well. So for Scorpios, the overall feel, what we do have here is the King of Wands. This is a very proactive wedding. So being in charge and really knowing what you do want. High energy, a lot of enthusiasm is going to pursue as well. So this is a good start of the planning, the actual wedding, and everyone will have a good time. The King of Wands has got a Sagittarian fire sign, Leo's fire or Aryan quality to it. So things are really going to take shape. Maybe really paying attention to the spiritual side of the wedding as well. So also for Scorpios, we do have the Magician. So wow, this can be a very quick wedding. Maybe you haven't thought about it, but suddenly you decide, oh, let's get married. So making something out of nothing is well within a certain amount of you. So maybe it's going to be a quick affair, really quick, really fast, and everything can be done really, really quickly. A lot of you will probably get married abroad or in secret, you never know. But it can happen really, really fast as well. Also, the last aspect of this is the Four of Swords. So, really thinking long and hard. For some of you, it's been a dream for a long time. A lot of people plan in their imagination. And with Scorpios liking things hidden and looking at things that transform, looking at this is one of the aspects of the overall theme. So really having things being reflective, really being a go-getter, really understanding what it is that you want. So think long and hard, but it's going to be quick. So it's got good elements. It's got a balance of energies within that. So let's have a look at what's going on with the overall guests. The guests at your wedding, and if there are any problems. Whether they hook up, are there going to be new romances within your guests? Let's have a look. So for Scorpios and the guests. So first element we do have for your guests is the Ten of Swords. So a lot of people, if you've decided to have this wedding quite quickly and not planned it, they might think, wow, okay, that doesn't give us a lot of time to prepare. And other aspects are thinking outside the box. Very clear with the overall feel with the Four of Swords, that contemplation and really understanding about two people is important. So the guests might not always agree with what's going on, obviously. But then we have to remember it's your day, your wedding, and your groom's wedding. So using all these opinions and, discussions could come to a certain lack of understanding and constriction. So this has to play out with a sense of, really having those compromises. But do you have to compromise? This is your wedding. So all these things have to be understood on the greater deal. So when we look at guests also, we got the Chariot. So one of the discussions that might take place is the vehicles within the marriage and whether all guests can get to it. So suddenly if you want to go, right, okay, it's too expensive to have this wedding where I am, why don't I do it abroad? Or why don't I do it in the home? Or why don't? So these kind of discussions need to take place for the wedding. Also, with you and your partner, one has to be on the exact page of what is going on. So, really utilizing the thought process as well as the heart. What does it feel? So this is where we're seeing a little bit of compromise and understanding within this. So it is achievable. No, it is. So maybe one of you thinks, well, isn't it better to spend money on the home, the house, than the actual wedding? So these are some of the things that you might have to think outside the box. Maybe the guests are putting these opinions and propositions to you. So just catering for all, really. But yeah, look at the travel arrangements and the vehicles and who wants to travel in the bridal party's cars and who can't. Bit off, innit? So you do have the Three of Swords as well. So obviously some guests, for a lot of you, are going to be quite put out, a little bit sad about certain things. But will they get over it? They may do. So watch those certain members of guests that, can always cause trouble. So it's going to be a kind of a learning curve here to really let go of the pain and the hurt. So this is where the communication between your partner is vital. So don't kind of let anything spoil how you are trying to plan, but also compromise and learn that it is their day as well. So within guests, it can be very difficult if one of you are trying to accommodate certain guests, whether flying them in from a different country or whatever, and they can't come because of whatever. So it is sad, but it just is one of those things that just communicate as well as you can and try and look at things differently. So that can be a little bit of a problem. So let's have a look at the dresses, the suits, the bridal party clothes. Okay, let's see if there's any concerns there for Scorpios. So for Scorpios in their wedding, this is where you got the Four of Swords. So this is really about contemplating colours, practicality, tradition, all these kind of things. So this might be one of the things that you do have to think long and hard about, really catering to issues, whether it's going to be the weather and whether we need more outfits or vice versa. So this is one of the things that we have to rest our minds that everything will work out as long as we've planned for it. Really understand what season you're getting married in and what venues. Because I know when we get married in one church or establishment, and then we go to the party afterwards, we have to accommodate that. So this is one of the things about practicality as well as being really fancy. But really have a long and hard think about that. But equally, rest your mind. I think this is going to be one of the areas where it can be quite easy because you've all got ideas of what's going on. So you've also got the Two of Swords. So this is probably the thinking outside the box aspect within the wedding party thing. So maybe your partner's got one idea and you've got a different idea of that. So this could be one of the areas where you need to really come to an understanding with both of you. So you might think, oh, traditionally, isn't this good? But modern era, and I like this kind of theme. It might be around a hobby or a place where you've really liked. So these decisions surrounding the practicality of dresswear, and maybe if some of you do get married abroad or have the party abroad, it's about packing everything. So there's a lot of decisions to be made. So really know exactly what you do want within this. It's interesting, isn't it? Oh, also within the clothes, you do have the moon. So yeah, so looking really good at night time. Really looking at the reflective ideas. So a lot of you are going to really understand what it is on the subconscious. So maybe you haven't thought or dreamt of something, and you want that within. So having that vision, having that dream, knowing what it is that you do want. So for you guys, this really does seem to be on a psychic subconscious level about what it is that you're trying to convey. So I know a lot of people think, oh my goodness, the dress is the most important thing. And just realizing how important it is for you yourself. So it's kind of, a lot of you will be looking at the flowers with the colour of the decor and the bridal party and things like that. So look at, if you are looking at flowers in buttonholes and things like that, just see within the day how long it's going to last as well. So it is going to be very interesting, and all that white, all that silver, all that reflective aspects. You might see a lot of twinkling lights at night. You might see fireworks at night. You might even do those wish balloons going up. But it's going to be a really amazing thing once you incorporate things that you've dreamt about for a long time. And keep meditating on this, because, the ideas will come. And a lot of you have already seen the vision of your partner. So this is a really huge connection, and making it really real will stand up with the bridal party, the costumes, etc. Very nice indeed. So let's have a look at the party itself, the catering and the music and the dancing, etc. Basically, the celebration of it all for Scorpios. So, catering and party. So we do have the lovers, which is great. So this has got this great twin effect of Gemini and the communication. So again, we're looking at the reflection. So a lot of you will be really facing that kind of, oh, I've got to put on a good impression for the guests. Yeah, you kind of do. However, it's what is for the good of all, especially within the wedding party. So it's always good to cater for vegans, vegetarians, gluten-free, all sorts of things. But this is very much about the heated discussions about the music and the catering. So discuss wisely with your partner and what it is that you actually do want. Sometimes people like surprises, but in this case, because we've had the Two of Swords and now we're having the Lover's card about making choices and decisions, it will be very important. So catering and the music and the venue of dancing, etc., is going to be a very important aspect. Also, here we have the Three of Swords. So this probably is a demonstration that people do feel that this isn't their cup of tea. But that's fine. So make the decision and choice of the catering. Are people sitting down? Are the seats comfortable? How have we done enough for guests that have problems getting to venues? You know, mobility issues, all these kind of aspects. And if you've catered for that, then that's good enough. Also, we do see here the Queen of Swords. So making the decision can be quite harsh. Make the decision because of the Two of Swords and this pain. So, sorry, this is all about communication. Communication is absolutely vital. So getting your point across to the catering team is one of those issues. Also about the DJ or the music, live music or no music. So this is very important. But overall, you're going to have a good time if the communication is there. Enjoy the wedding. Congratulations.